So we did our presentation on the effect of personality and job performance. And the reason we chose this topic was because we were looking through the textbook, and the textbook discusses the effect of personality on job satisfaction. So we found some things like workers that score high on personal alienation tend to score lower on job satisfaction. Also, that worker personalities differ in terms of their job satisfaction, because if you look at the percentage of satisfied and dissatisfied workers during harsh and good economic times, they're about the same. They stay about the same. So we wanted to explore the effect of personality on job performance. So specifically, the personality that we're looking at are the big five personality traits, also known as the five-factor model. They have five main dimensions, which generally encompass most aspects of personality, which is why we wanted to use it. So the first one is extroversion, which has traits like talkativeness, energy, and dominance. The second one is agreeableness, which is how sympathetic, affectionate, or caring someone can be. Third is conscientiousness, which is how organized and efficient you are. Fourth is neuroticism, which is how anxious, insecure, or highly strung you would be. And the last one is openness to experience, which is how inventive or curious you are.
Based on our research, we formed a hypothesis. Our hypothesis was, while certain personality traits will affect individuals depending on the job, and there might be particular traits that positively or negatively affect job performance. Our first study was a pharmaceutical company. It was an individual study. It was a micro view of the topic. The method used, it was a study of 159 employees of a pharmaceutical company. It was a cross-sectional survey design, meaning it was a survey of a specific group of people at a certain moment in time. They used a neo-personality inventory to determine personality traits, while a PAQ, or a performance appraisal questionnaire, was used to determine job performance on the scales of performance, creativity, and managerial skills. The findings were that there was definitely a correlation between personality and job performance. Neuroticism was a predictor of poor performance and less creativity. Extroversion and openness to experience somewhat led to a higher task of performance and significantly higher creativity, while conscientiousness was linked to higher task performance and creativity, but less so than all the other personality traits. The second study was a meta-analysis. It was a macro view of the topic. The method used, it was 117 studies with overall 23,994 participants across a variety of fields. The 5 fields were professionals, police, managers, sales, and semi-skilled/skilled workers. 3 measures of job performance were job proficiency, training proficiency, and personnel data. Separate studies were used to gather data, but each was individually validated by Barrick and Mount. The conclusion was there was definitely a correlation between personality and job performance. Conscientiousness was a predictor of all job performance across all fields. Extroversion was a predictor for all job performances for sales and managerial fields. Openness to experience was a predictor for training efficiency across all fields, while neuroticism, usually high scorers were viewed as negative indicators, but proved positive in the professional field.
So basically, this comparison chart is just a rehash of everything that was just talked about, so I'm not going to go over it again. But we studied the data and we kind of came up with a brief eyeball of how the different studies did with the correlation of personality and job performance. And so if you see on the bottom, it says that an underline indicates a stronger correlation of personality and job performance. And just eyeballing it, study 2, which is the meta-analysis, does a lot better. And it also has its mean predictor reliability was 0.76 as opposed to the mean predictor reliability of study 1, which is only 0.38. And this pretty much makes sense because a meta-analysis encompassed a lot of different studies, so it had more data to work with, had a larger sample size. So we found that study 2 is generally more reliable to look at.
So our conclusion based on the 2 studies was the results of study 2 were definitely more strongly supported. It was made up of an inventory of studies, which meant larger sample sizes. It had a higher mean predicted reliability compared to study 1. The results generally supported our hypothesis. Conscientiousness, both studies concluded that it is a strong predictor of positive job performance, while neuroticism, both studies conclude that it was a predictor for negative job performance. However, study 2 found that high neuroticism scores were correlated with better performances in professional fields. It's hard to tell if high pressure jobs cause neuroticism or vice versa.